Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Vichyi and this is Plant and Style. Today's video is going to be my July favorites video, and thanks for letting me know that you like this kind of video from the June favorites, and I'm so glad because I do enjoy making this video for you and for me as well, because we love talking about our favorite plants, don't we? So yeah, without further ado, let's just get on with it. The first plant in this July favorites list is no other than my Queen Anthurium. Look at her go. Oh my god, we have been through a lot. This girl has lost all its leaves, and not all at the same time, but it slowly did, and it got down to a stump basically, and just this summer that it sprouted these two leaves, and I am so glad because it has grown so much, and it's growing bigger leaves now than it used to, and it definitely looks way better. So yeah, she lives in ambient condition, which is basically 50 to 70% in humidity depending on the day. Right now we are on the mid 60s to 70s, so she's quite happy about it as you can see. But oh my goodness, look at her. I got her back in December 2021, I believe, and yeah, she's gone through a lot, definitely. I've never had more than 2 leaves though, but I think that this is the time that it's going to happen, because she's currently has this bump, and that's how you can tell on the stem when there is a new leaf coming off the petiole. So right now she's in pond, and this is just a glass no drainage vessel, but as you can see, I do have an insert over there, which is just a regular deli, and it goes all the way here, so it stops at this edge right here, and it holds it there. And then I just added more pond on the top substrate, just so, because it has a very long chunk. So I wanted all the aerial roots to be covered in substrate, so it will grow more roots and therefore makes it more stable, and that also means bigger leaves. More stability means bigger leaves. So I do regret not putting a moss pole on this one, because I didn't think that it would need it. I thought it was like too soon that I could get away. But as you can see over here, I hope you guys can see that there is some fresh aerial roots that is looking for some place to hold on to. so yeah, I'm probably going to give her a moss pole anyway, just because I want to give it a chance to grow its best potential growth. Is that a thing? She truly is very majestic, I believe. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites, Anthurium warocquianum, or the Queen Anthurium. This next plant, number 2 on the list, I actually have shown in my last 2 videos, I believe, and I'm sorry about that, but he deserves it. It truly does deserve it. So yeah, once again, say hello to my Anthurium forgetii cross with luxurians. And you see what I mean? How can I not showcase this plant, you guys? Because in reality, I do watch her pretty much all day, every day, since this leaf showed up under my care. And look, we have an inflorescence as well, and I'm waiting for it to be receptive, and I think that I am going to pollinate it with my dark vichyi pollen that I've collected from my own plant. I think by doing that, we'll secure the closed sinus, the vichyi lobe, and the luxurian texture, hopefully. And if it gets like darker or velvety, then that would be more exciting. But yeah, I think that I wanna give it a try and do that. Hopefully it'll take, and I'm not sure if it's going to be successful because it's going to be my first time pollinating something. But yeah, it's very, very exciting. I'm definitely going to film it, so be on the lookout, and yeah, I'll show you the progress and the steps I took. So once again, Anthurium vichyi crossed with Anthurium luxurians. Number 3 is another Anthurium, and I hope you love Anthuriums because I do have, yeah, quite an obsession with Anthuriums right now, and that's probably gonna show up on a lot of my my videos. But this next one is so cute, and I'm so grateful to have it in my collection as well. It was a gift from Aroid Market. If you have not seen my unboxing video, my collaboration with Aroid Market, please do check it out over here. I got lost again. Anyways, so yeah, it's my Anthurium King of Spades. Look at that! This is the new leaf and the only leaf that I have gotten and that I have grown under my care. And look at how rounded that is. It's so cute. Oh my god. I cannot stop looking at this plant. Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's super duper cute. I love the red margin and the silvery veining that is somewhat diffused, but my goodness, look at that red sinus as well. It's so freaking adorable. I am like obsessing on this plant. Oh my goodness. Anthurium King of Spades is kind of popular lately, and they're coming out in the market. And yeah, if you don't have one yet, they're going down. They're getting cheaper, and I highly recommend it. And it acclimated well under my condition as well, except that it's still in the cabinet, and that's only because I want to give it its best to grow faster for me and start flowering so I can like hybridize. Yeah, I know. I'm like obsessing about hybridizing, and I'm just so excited about my Anthurium collections currently, and they're just so much fun. I do love my other plants as well. It's just yeah, this time this is what's like giving me all the tingling sensations. Once again, number 3, Anthurium King of Spades. Moving on to plant number 4 of my July favorites, and don't worry, it's not Anthurium. It is my other favorite genus, that is Hoya. And I hope you love Hoyas, because if not, what's wrong with you? Hoyas are so stinking adorable. And check out this vase. It's a vase because it's planted in a vase. But this is my Hoya lanceolata, or the Hoya Bella, and I have 3 different kinds in this pot because I wanted 3 of them in my collection, obviously, and I wanted a bushier pot, so I thought, let's put them together. And yeah, like it just checks both criteria on my Hoya Bella. Now we have a bushy, and I have all three. I have the Hoya Bella, which has the inner variegation, and then we have the Hoya Bella, which has the outer variegation, and the regular Hoya, green Hoya, and it has bloomed. Actually, the Bella, the one with the inner variegated, is the only one that has bloomed for me this year and ever. So I'm so happy, because they used to live inside my Hoya cabinets. I do have 2 Hoya cabinets, and it has outgrown it. So I thought that I had to get it out of the cabinet, and I used my regular Hoya Bella to like put it to test, and I started with that, and I left it out here in my ambient condition, just above. I'm giving it a lot of light though, so it did so well. That's why I had no problem taking everyone out of the cabinet and just put it on top of my shelf. And I'm so glad, because it adds so much texture, like in between my dark Anthuriums and dark foliage. I think it just gives so much character on my plant corner, and just the appearance of it is so satisfying, and it looks so beautiful right now. I cannot believe it. It's just living life at the moment. So my Hoya lanceolata, or the Hoya Bellas, triple Bellas in here. The next plant that I want to showcase in this video is actually a stranger in this channel. I have not shown this plant because it wasn't a rehab for a very long time, and I wanted to show progress first before anything. You know, every time I want to show a plant, I want to have something to talk about besides it being sad. You know what I mean? So this time, I always refer my plants as a she. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just terrible with my English. So anyways, this plant is finally showing some new growth, and yeah, that is no other than my variegated ZZ plant. Yeah, so this came to me it was a very compacted substrate with peat moss and soil. I think it was just very compact. Since I had to remove the substrate anyway, I also gambled and put it in pond, even though I know that ZZ plants hate moisture. Not hate moisture, but they don't like a lot of water. They like to dry out in between watering, all that. So pond is a very wet substrate, and yeah, I was nervous, to be honest, and so I propagated it, and I want to show my propagations. And I have a stem propagation, a stalk propagation, I mean, and I'm sorry about my Florida Ghost propagation is an extra right now because it's stuck with them in here, and I have nowhere to put it right now. So, and here is an update. We have roots. We have roots right there, and it's also forming a bulb. Yeah, so ZZ plant. Oh no, I just lost an old leaf that was yellowing. But anyways, this is one stalk, and it has very little variegation. Part of another reason why I wanted to propagate it as well, to hopefully encourage more variegation. And it was also looking very sad. It had a lot of crispy leaves, and I wanted to start over. Yeah, the other stalk is also rooted And yeah, I think I'm gonna pot them up when I come back. And this one is almost reverted. And apart from that, I also have stem propagation, which takes longer. As you can see the bulb is forming kind of at the bottom. You see how it's already protruding, but the other ones are showing a little more root than that. So I don't know what's happening on that one stem, but every single one has rooted for me, and I'm so happy about that. Even though the cutting is looking very sad, it is actually rooting. So I didn't do a leaf propagation because when I was doing my research, I found that that one takes even longer. So it helps having a little bit of stem. Got this plant in March 7 this year. So it took 4 months for all this growth to show up, and look at the mother plant. This is the mother plant now, and the new stalk that it's pushing out, as you can see right here, is promising. It's definitely looking promising, and it makes me so happy and so glad that I did propagate this plant. And I gambled a little bit, and it is in this vessel. I think this is a 4-inch 4 by 5, maybe 4-inch wide, 5-inch tall glass vessel, and I have a little bit of leca at the bottom, and you can see the big chunky roots, but I don't see any fresh root yet that is visible from the sides. But this is good enough. This is good enough confirmation that this plant is happy. And I'm so glad. I'm so excited. I'm thinking of combining my cuttings here, but there's so much risk involved. So I might just sell all my cuttings and leave this one be, because I don't want to bother this mother plant. It's looking great right now, and I like how it looks, even though it only has one stalk. Yeah, for now, we'll check back again next year, and hopefully it will be bushier than this. So yeah, I don't know what number I am now, but this is Zamioculcas zamifolia, or the variegated ZZ plant. The next plant that I'm going to show you is number 6, and is a Hoya once again. And I got her back in October 22, 2022. So it's been a little over 9 months, and I started it as a 1-node 2-leaf cutting, and I'll throw a picture here of how it looks in the beginning. And now look at her. Oh my goodness, she's all trellised up and everything. I did trellis her yesterday only because it was much needed. As you can see, it's just growing tendrils everywhere, and there's some new growth points at the base also, which is so exciting, because then it's gonna look bushy down below. And yeah, there's just growth stems sprouting in different direction, and I'm so excited about that. The first set of leaves that grew under my care is green, and I was so worried because yeah, they tend to revert sometimes. Sometimes you get very unlucky with the splashes, and it happens a few times under my experience. But on this one, it looks like the splashes are back. And by the way, this is the Hoya carnosa Nova Ghost, and it has very nice silver splashes, and it's plump and hard, succulent like leaves, and it's just gorgeous, you guys. It's very gorgeous, and it hasn't skipped a beat for me, which I'm really glad, because the other carnosas that I have, aka Argentine Princess, that I've been so like patiently waiting for movement on, is not doing anything for me. But that is for another video. And yeah, once again, what a beautiful specimen. Not specimen, well, yeah, I find it beautiful because it's mine and I'm biased about it for sure. But my goodness, so satisfying. This plant is so gorgeous. I think this is the Hoya carnosa Nova Ghost. Alright, the next plant that I want to showcase for this video is my Schismatoglottis wallichii, variegated. And we have been in a journey as well. This plant came to me as heavily variegated plant, but as you can see, we have some reversion going, but at the same time we have a lot of pops down there. So I'm not worried at all, not even a bit, because when I was doing my research about this plant, I found out that they grow a lot. They grow a lot of pops, and if it's happy, it's gonna give you a whole lot of pops, and they're good for propagation. So I can't wait for that. And then another thing that's happened here is when it came to me, it came in moss. It was heavily rooted in moss. There was so much roots that I've actually lost a lot in the process of like removing the moss. Oh my god, that's like the most painful thing for me when it comes to transferring plants, is coming from moss. It's just more difficult. If you have any questions, just please let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them for you. But anyways, my goodness, so much fun. This plant is so gorgeous as well. This is native to the Philippines, I believe. And this is one of the original leaves right here, and this one has some variegation still. And one of the pops, this one pop right here actually has variegation, and it's got a new one coming also. And there's another one over here. So yeah, I'm looking at 5 plants now currently. From this all started with just one plant, one stalk. So now it has 5. I cannot be more grateful than that. And also, I've already cut 2 flowers from this, and here comes another one which I am going to cut again, because obviously this plant needs more leaves, more foliage before any flower. And plus, when I was researching about pollinating it, I couldn't find anything that was very helpful. So unless there is another one that's gonna grow for me, then maybe I can self-pollinate it, if that's even possible. But right now I'm really just trying to get this plant going with the variegation. So right now we have more reversion than variegation. So either way, it's a beautiful plant. It's very unique, I think, and I was always fascinated by it. I was also informed that it's very hard to ship this plant, and I did get this locally, so it was already been acclimated for me, which is awesome. And yeah, plant number 7 is the Schismatoglottis wallichii variegata. The number 8 that I want to show you is an Anthurium. We're back to Anthurium. And that's because I have not shown this plant yet, I believe. I think so. But anyways, so this plant came to me in soil, and I got it locally, so it was in ambient right away. And yeah, so it finally grew a leaf for me, and I wanted to introduce you to my Anthurium vichyi, or the king Anthurium, and the older leaves right here are a bit like crusty, a little crusty and deformed as well. But this new leaf under my condition is wow. Oh my god, it's just so pristine. It's so glossy, and the abs are just, they line up so perfectly, like perfectly symmetrical almost, I think. But how beautiful is this plant, you guys? I have it in pon once again with a little bit of leca at the bottom, and I also noticed that here's my observation. When I'm transferring them into pon initially, I find that putting it in a no drainage vessel helps a lot, because you don't have to worry about whether it's ready to wick up. You know, when you have like a wick rope and your reservoir is separated from your vessel, I find that you have to keep an eye on that so much more. Like sometimes I've forgotten that, oh, the freshly transferred plant in pon, and so you have to like keep watering it from the top. But doing this, you're gonna have to water from the top as well, and you can visually see the water from the bottom because of the leca layer that I have in here. So I find that just for the easier transition, that they find it easier and they do well if they were transferred into a no drainage vessel or pot and pon first, and then eventually when the root starts going at the bottom, that's when I moved it into like a wick rope system. So that's just my observation, and I hope it helps for you guys, for those people who want to transfer their medium to pon, that you might want to give that a try and let me know your progress. And if you do have any questions, just do let me know in the comments. There's not many of you guys yet, so I am still able to respond on like 99% of the time. So yeah, so do take advantage of that. If you have any questions whatsoever from me, that is plant related, of course, please do leave it down below, and thank you, because that will actually help my channel a lot. So yeah, once again, my Anthurium vichyi, plant number 8. Plant number 9, we're getting close, and this next plant is a dream come true in my opinion. So it's always been in my top wish list plant, and I finally was able to snag it on my birthday this year, and that was back in April. And yeah, it came with a hefty price tag. Well, in my book, though, it's probably not as much for other Anthurium collectors. Premium. Yeah, I thought it was such a great deal. Finally, it showed up around me, so it was easier for me to get it and not have to risk having it shipped and everything. So I just had to pick it up locally. And yeah, this is no other than my Anthurium pure papillaum. Well, you know, there are so many different kinds of papillaum out there, and there's kinds that are from Indonesia, and yeah, just different papillaum collections from different breeders. And this one in particular is actually a Ralph Lineham cross with Fort Sherman and cross with Reese Gardens Pap, which is like legit, right? I do trust my seller on this one, and our group has gotten so many premium Anthuriums from her, so I can like really guarantee that this is the real deal, and I'm very, very happy to have it in my collection. So yeah, and it finally pushed out its first leaf under my care, and it is also in ambient condition. I know, it was such a big of a gamble for me. I was checking it out every single day. It used to live in this cabinet right here, but as you can see, it's got such a very long petiole and very wide wingspan. And when this new leaf popped out, I didn't want to risk stunting its growth or damaging its leaf under there. So I had to make the decision to just let it grow out, because if it does grow successfully, then that's it. Like, I won't have any more problem on where I'm gonna put this plant, because it just made it for me. Look at this new leaf. Oh my god, it's like the most vibrant emergent leaf I've ever seen, and the sinus is getting wider as well here compared to the old leaf right here. As you can see, it's tall and it's got a deep V shape, but this one, the sinus is getting wider, and I'm here for it. Oh my goodness. If this becomes like a wide sinus pap, which is really what I was hoping to get, but either way, oh my goodness. I'm just so happy that this is here and it's growing in ambient, and oh my goodness, look at how long. Cannot wait. You guys, if you want to see, or if you want an update of this being fully hardened, please follow me on Instagram at plantandstylewithpeachy, and I will definitely post an update over there when this is all hardened and beautiful. So yeah, keep an eye on it, and yeah, I'll be happy to to share them with you guys, of course. The last plant that I want to showcase in this video is no other than my Monstera orea. This is my Borzigiana kind, the small form, and I got this as a top cutting back in, it's over a year now, and it's actually on my first video ever as a cutting still when I bought it for $400 freaking dollars. This is my most expensive plant purchase ever, and it was only for top cutting, 2-leaf top cutting Monstera orea. And yeah, since then, this is her now. Ta-da! Yeah, it didn't make my June favorites because there were a lot of competition back then, and it didn't have this newest leaf back then. So before this new leaf, all the other leaves are really meh, you know. It's not as great when it started. Here you can still see the first 2 leaves. This is one of the mother leaves right here, this one, and this one. Those are the mother leaves, the two top cuts that I first started with. And then since then it grew this beautiful leaf with good variegation, but unfortunately, like everyone else, it was crisping. The variegation were crisping, especially if you move it. So that's one thing I noticed. Like it was perfect until I moved its location, and immediately it crisped out. Like one day it was looking perfect, the next day, like it's like a big chunk of the variegation that I was so happy about was gone. So yeah, that's my problem with this plant. So obviously I don't have the lighting that it requires, I thought. So now I'm blasting just grow light in front of it right now, and so far I moved it in the bedroom with the grow light in front of it, just a regular Verena grow light, and so far it's okay. I also added liquid silica in my nutrient water, in my nutrient solution. It's been going around in the plant community lately that it helps, because just like everybody else, they are having troubles with their orea variegation turning yellow. So I am down to yeah, I thought I'd give it a try, because at this point I really am down to like chop it up and sell it into pieces, or just sell this whole thing and hopefully get my money back, because so far it's been a pain in the butt. Reverted into juvenile form also, as you can see, just like what happened to my Monstera thigh. Like, it lost its fenestration, and that is due to lighting, you guys. Yeah, this really requires a lot of light and warmth if you can give it. And yeah, I guess I'll give you guys an update if that silica is going to work. And since I just moved it right now, oh my god, watch it turn yellow. As you can see, we'll find out. I will give you an update. But as you can see, the status of the leaves, so I've already chopped up the crispy brown parts. So right now you're looking at no browning, right? So we'll see in the next couple of days if it's gonna hate me for touching it again right now. So hopefully not. Please be nice. But yeah, oh my god. And also the newest leaf, as you can see, now has 5 fenestrations. So it's growing. It's finally growing in maturity, and it's hard to tell with new leaves on orea. Like, you can't tell the variegation until later. It will slowly burn in, but you can kind of tell still here. So yeah, it made it to this favorites because of it. So I think it's finally starting to grow better for me. So I might, after all, I might keep it in my collection, or a piece of it at least, because of this plant. And my Syngonium orea also is starting to deteriorate its variegation. So I'm hating orea at the minute because of that, because I do not like the crispy leaves on my plants. My goal on every plant is for them to look beautiful and stylish and healthy. Not just to look, but also be healthy, you know, because yeah, that's what makes me happy. And browning and crisping leaves does not make me happy, and we don't want that. And that is it for today's video, guys. Again, thank you all so much for being here and for watching my videos. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you do enjoy this kind of videos, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell down below so you'll be notified when my future video drops. Again, thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Mwah! Bye bye!